guys, Eve here, and today I decided to do something that I haven't yet done, and that's a soft glam look. So this look is definitely geared towards more event type stuff. I know it's not exactly homecoming season, but we're still in wedding season. So if you or anyone you know are looking for inspiration for a bridal makeup look or even a wedding party makeup look, this is the look for you. It's definitely got those glam elements. It'll look great in photos, but it's a little bit more subdued, I would say, with the color scheme. It's not super dark. It's like a very daytime natural glam. However, I wish I knew how to do a very daytime natural glam hairstyle. I'm terrible with hair. Someone needs to teach me how to do hair, please. But if you guys want to see how I did this makeup look, keep on watching. Let's go.
Hey guys, alright, so we're starting today with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Fix. We're going to smear this over our eyelids and blend it in gently with our ring fingers so not to disturb the delicate skin there. And then we are grabbing my RCMA No Color Powder, and we're taking a tiny little setting brush and we're setting down that primer. Then grabbing the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, we're going in with Silk Cream and MFEO, or Made for Each Other. And we're mixing that together on my Wet n Wild brush, and we're putting that into my crease, and this is going to act as our transition today. So we want to make sure that it's going up a little bit higher on the crease than you would normally think. That way the shadows have something to blend into. And then taking the RCMA powder, we're just stamping the inner corners just so that outer corner is defined as like a nice V shape. And then with the Modern Renaissance palette, we're using the shade Bon Fresco, which is like a purpley gray tone. We're using this in our crease, but a little bit lower and on the outer corner. And then we're going back in once again with that Wet n Wild brush with no added product, just to kind of help blend that all out. And then in my Anastasia Beverly Hills self-made palette, I have the shade Hot Chocolate. I'm going to put this in the outer V just to kind of deepen that up. I believe you can get this shade as a shadow single at Ulta. I'm not entirely sure though. If you can, I'll leave that in the description box down below, and if you can't, I'll leave a replacement shadow for you just so you guys aren't left out in the cold. So I'm going to put this a little bit higher into the V, into that crease, so that when you open your eyes, you can still see that dark color going out. And then I'm going in once again with Bon Fresco and blending out that transition and blending it into the lid. And then once again going in with Silk Cream and MFEO to kind of make sure that transition still exists after all that blending. And then grabbing the shade Vermeer on a shader brush and spritzing it with a little bit of what I like to call NYX Plus, which is the NYX Dewy Setting Spray. I'm going to put this into my inner third and that like middle third onto my lid. It's going to kind of carve into a cut crease, but it's a little bit softer than a cut crease. Do you see a theme here? Everything's a little bit softer. And then grabbing Bon Fresco, we're going to blend out that outer corner just so that everything is, once again, say it with me, a little softer. And grabbing that shade Hot Chocolate, we're putting this on our lash line just to kind of darken it up and making like a little baby wing. And then we're brushing away the RCMA powder to reveal the nice sharp line. And then grabbing my Stila liquid liner, I'm going to make a very thin line onto our lash line. This will help our false lashes blend in a little bit later, but it also defines our lashes as well. And then I'm kind of smoking it out once again with that Hot Chocolate shade, just so it stays softer. Then grabbing my Pure Correcting Primer in Prep and Perfect, I'm going to focus this into my T-zone, but it's essentially going all over my face. And even though it looks like I'm pressing really hard into my skin, I'm actually using a very light touch. This is like the only primer that has never broken me out. And then I'm grabbing my NYX HD Concealer in the shade Green, and I'm putting this all over my blemishes. I have pretty acne prone skin, so this is kind of a constant for me. I do this every day. And then I'm blending it in with my Real Techniques blending sponge. I'm pouncing the Beauty Blender right on top of that concealer so that the concealer really isn't pushed around and the pigment stays right on top of those blemishes. And then grabbing my Cover FX Natural Finish foundations in the shade N10 and N20, we're mixing them together and we're dotting them all over my face. And then we're blending it in circular motions with my M439 foundation brush. patting it in with a beauty blender just so that it's really, really, really blended. And then because my steps never make sense, I'm going in and doing my brows with the Anastasia Brow Definer in the shade Medium Brown. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I'm making a video for doing my brows. It's coming up soon, guys. And then going in with my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair, I'm putting this on any blemishes that are still peeking through, which, you know, is like all of them, because that's what happens. But what's good about this concealer is that a little bit goes a long way, so you really don't feel like you're wasting product when you're using it. Just put a little dab over the blemish and then blend it in with a beauty blender. And we're using the same technique that we used for the green concealer as well. You want to blend the product right into the skin rather than pushing it around. That way the pigment stays right on top of the blemish. That's how you get the most coverage, guys. And then we're putting it on the sides of my nostrils where the redness exists. We're putting it down the bridge of my nose just to bring that forward. And then we're putting it under the eyes to highlight it and to cover up those under eye circles. And then we're blending it out with a beauty blender. With this one, I do kind of like to keep the coverage right on those spots, but I also like to blend it out more, especially the under eyes. I like to blend it into more of a triangle shape because it doubles as a highlighter as well. And then I'm setting it right away with the RCMA No Color Powder, using that sharp edge to kind of clean up that outer corner. And then I'm putting the powder anywhere that I want a little bit of extra bakage. And then after it's baked, I'm setting my whole face with the powder except for the tops of my cheekbones, and I'll tell you why in a sec. And I'm wiping away the RCMA No Color Powder underneath my eyes right there. You can see it. There we go. And then grabbing my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Moonstone, this is the liquid version, I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend this right into the tops of my cheekbones. That's why we don't want to set it with powder, because you'll create weird textures if you go in with a liquid after you have a powder. And then bronzing my face up with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the light version because I am a pasty white ghost. I'm putting this under my cheekbones and on my forehead and on my chin, but you don't see that here. And I'm dragging it down my nose because it's a lighter contour than an actual contour shade. But here is my actual contour shade. It's my really beat up NYX HD blush in the shade Taupe. It's a nice, cool toned contour shade, putting this right under my cheekbones. And then I'm cleaning up that contour with the sharp edge of my fake little beauty blender right there, using the RCMA No Color Powder to kind of cut it out. And then grabbing my Hourglass blush in the shade Incandescent Electra, which is fun to say. I'm putting that onto the apples of my cheeks and blending it back towards my temples a little bit. And then this is the pressed version of that Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm putting that right on top of my cheekbones and on my temples. And I'm putting it on the tip of my nose because nose highlights are super cute. And I'm bringing it down the bridge of my nose a little bit too, putting it underneath my brow bone and on my cupid's bow and in my inner eye corner, but you don't see that yet because we're going into the lower lash line. We're using the shade Brown Fresco with a liner brush. And then grabbing a pencil brush with the Silk Cream and MFEO combination creation that we did to kind of smoke that out. That way it's a soft, smoked out lower lash line. And then we're using the NYX eye pencil in the shade White or Blanc or whatever you want to call it, just to kind of brighten that up. And there's the inner corner highlight. That's Moonstone. That's the Moonstone. Gotta look awake, guys. And then brushing away that RCMA No Color Powder bake. And then setting my whole face with the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. And then I'm going to take the beauty blender and press that into the skin just so that all the powders kind of meld together and it looks like, you know, skin. And then curling my eyelashes to get them ready for the mascara. And then I'm going in with my mascara, and I'm using my favorite mascara today, which is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It just makes your lashes so thick and long and beautifully black, and it's awesome. I love this mascara so much. And what's great is that this formula is pretty much waterproof without even having it be the waterproof version. I've used that thing for Splash Mountain and it didn't go anywhere. And then for my lower lash line, I'm using the Pixie by Petra Lower Lash Line Mascara because that's what it's there for. No, but in reality, it's a very detailed mascara brush and it's perfect for the lower lash line. I highly recommend it. I hate when I get mascara all over my lower lash line. And then for my lips, I'm using the NYX lip lingerie in the shade Lace Detail. It's a nice light nude for my lips. It kind of picks up orange on the camera, but I promise you it's a very pale pink in person. And then to set my eyebrows, because this is usually the last thing that I do, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And then I'm going to pop on my Ardell Demi Wispy Lashes, and I'll be right back.
Alright guys, so my lashes are on, and this is the finished look. It's very glowy. I actually had a lot of fun creating this look for you guys, just because it's not something that has been on my channel yet. I used to wear this exact type of look every day. However, I would probably recommend it for something that's a little bit more bridal, a little bit more event-wise, because it does have those glam elements, but it's a lot softer with a lot more muted colors. If you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button right down below. That way when I upload new videos, you guys can check them out. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
You've got one life to live. She's singing